Good evening and welcome to this episode of Sports Scene. Now I'm finally back and I'm joined by Jeremy Mogi.
Welcome back, Dion.
Thank you.
We did miss you last week.
And later on in the show we will be joined by Lorraine Genia, who was over at Lalara Village to cover the AC7s, which happened over the weekend. And
it was actually massive because they had the Pukpuks boys to join them
it was
for
awesome.
that tournament
So
as well.
Lorraine will come in and she'll talk all about that. Now to one of the most exciting things that happened during the weekend, the Hunters. The Hunters played their first match in Port Moresby in the Intrust Super Cup against the Souths Logan Magpies. Now it was highly anticipated. Tickets weren't on sale on Thursday?
They went on sale on Thursday, $35 for the grandstands.
And $25 for the outer stands. And I tell you, Port Moresby residents went out there and purchased all the grandstand tickets. The grandstand tickets sold out on Thursday, so
Sold out.
People were really keen to watch this, watch the Hunters play for the first time in Port Moresby.
I told you I was on the hill behind where I live, and the view from overlooking Waigani Drive towards the stadium, I could just see it absolutely packed.
Packed, man. People even started arriving before 3 p.m. and the match was going to start at 7. And yeah, there was a lot of police and security presence, which was really good. Crowds were really controlled. Because there was a number of people, the influx of people were controlled really well by the...
We had 15,000 people going for the Hunters game, and
it was really good because they were going to use it, because yes, this Hunters match was going to be used as a test for the new look Sir John Guy Stadium for the opening ceremony of the Pacific Games.
That test for the stadium wasn't just about the complex itself, but it was also about the transportation system and security.
Yes, it was. Now the security was there, was controlled by the police, and also there was a park and ride system where people parked their vehicles over at Unagi, and the big NCD buses transported them to the stadium. So they made things a lot easier so that the area wasn't too jam-packed with a lot of vehicles. Now I was there, I got to witness the match, and I tell you, the atmosphere was absolutely electric. It was really good to see everybody get out there and really support, in the true nature of supporting. The crowd was just, they was roaring. It was just, man, it's just hard to describe.
You know that you were supposed to get us tickets for the game.
Unfortunately, I was supposed to get yourself and Lorraine tickets, but I was lucky enough to get myself one. So sorry, I know Lorraine's really pissed off, and I'm sure you are as well. But I tell you, it was just, it was the atmosphere. You could feel the unity within everyone around the stadium. And it actually, I guess it showed. The Hunters had a slow start, but they ended up taking the match 34 points to 12. And yeah, so we got to catch up with them at the press conference, and here's what the captain of the Souths Logan Magpies and Coach Michael Marum and Israel Eliab had to say.
I think we put our plan into action. That's why we got the 12-10 lead. And we had a few errors where we felt we were on top, sort of let us down. I think just with our carries and just getting through our sets, holding on to the ball, getting the good kicks.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think everyone should be excited, support the team. All our coaches come forward, come and support our team. There might be one or two players from the Hunters again playing with the 9th team. We don't know about that, but yeah, it's good to see everyone come in numbers and support our countrymen here in all codes.
Like it's not a new thing to us, like coming from behind and winning the game, so it isn't pressure or any panic, but we just told the boys to just hang in there and just get the attitude right and just got back into the game. So it's 80 minutes football game, so we just hang in there and the boys did well.
Now we would like to acknowledge the complaints that we've been getting about not being able to cover the Sp Hunters match, and unfortunately that's a little bit beyond our control. Jeremy just explained a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have what are called TV rights, and these are just documentations that allow television companies to cover certain sports, well, not just sports, but all aspects of what we present. Right, yes. So the rights for the Sp Hunters matches have gone to another television station. Yeah.
Which we do not have. That is why we are unable to bring you any footage. That's why we could only bring you the footage from outside the venue and the press conference, but not of the actual game itself. So we do apologize for that. But we have exciting news, don't we, Jeremy?
Yes, we do. Well, on that note about television rights, Media New Guinea Limited have just signed an exclusive deal with FIFA.
Sweet.
And this will cover a whole host of matches for the year 2015, 16, and onwards. It allows us to show the FIFA World Cup, FIFA Under 20 World Cup, FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup, also the Under 17 World Cup, the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, and the futsal. Including that, we'll be able to look at the Oceania Football Confederation matches. So that's basically anything PNG takes part in the Pacific, and on top of that, the Telecom National Soccer League.
So if you're a huge football fan, there's a lot coming out for you in of football. Now, the Under-23 team is over in Asia in their preparation for the Pacific Games.
Under-23 squad are touring Asia as part of their preparations for the Pacific Games, and we'll wish the boys all the best with that as well.
Now, as I was mentioned earlier, being at the Hunters game, the crowd was just absolutely electric, and I encourage you guys, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, make sure you do, because I'm sure
to the Hunters, man.
I'm sure you do. For the Pacific Games, if you can get your hands on tickets, I'm sure, I'm telling you, you will not regret it. The atmosphere, being at the ground and witnessing it firsthand is just something you can't have. But MTV, we're the lead broadcasters for the 2015 Pacific Games, so make sure you catch all the action of the Pacific Games on MTV as well. Now, after the break, Lorraine will join us and we'll bring to you some of the action from the AC7s over the weekend. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show, and we have the ever beautiful Lorraine Genia, who's all in purple today.
Yes, don't you know it's Disney week, guys?
Yes, and I'm all black, and you can be Mickey Mouse. Now, also the cricket PNG, the Barramundis.
Yeah, PNG faced the Netherlands in their debut in the 4-day first-class Intercontinental Cup, which is being held in Amsterdam. Now, the side that wins in this 8-team tournament round robin, which is spread out over 2 years, will then qualify for test matches. Yeah, just very quickly.
Oh, awesome. All the best, Bara. Behind you all the way. Now, Lorraine, welcome.
Thank you.
How was the Aramaco Sevens?
Welcome back from La Laura.
Yes, plus Blumistrat. Well, the Aramaco Sevens was massive. It was my second Aramaco Sevens tournament to attend, but this year, speaking to a lot of the village people, they said it was one of the biggest. It was definitely one of the better organized tournaments. Now, we had the National Pupuk Sevens team there as well. They were split into a few of the local teams, but many of them actually were there to officiate the matches. And yeah, that was about it.
Awesome. We had a couple of Moresby-based teams that went up and competed as well.
Yes, definitely. We had 3 Moresby-based teams. I think it was Palm Crusaders, 3 Mile City Dwellers, and yeah, Brothers, that's right. And then we had Keith Poirier's team, which had a few Black Orchids boys. Hakatau Tai.
Awesome.
So yeah.
This is pretty spread out. There was also a team that from Barakau that made.
Yeah, now that was the first time to have a team from the Motuan coastline actually attend and take part in the tournament. So that goes to show that the tournament definitely has grown. And we also had the support of the local member for Abao, Sir Pukatemu, who did commit 150,000 kina to upgrading the fields there, and of course 1 million kina to the people of Abao. As he mentioned, this year's theme was sports. So really big for the Armor Coast and of course the people of Abao district in the Central Province.
And for rugby, now Lorraine, I'm not much of a sevens person, but how was the level of rugby that was showcased during the tournament?
Yeah, the level of rugby has definitely improved over the last 5 years. I spoke to the Warramana Club president Amos Kula, and he did make mention of that as well. Obviously having the Pukpuks boys come on board and play with the village teams and definitely the Moresby-based teams, that definitely set the standard a lot higher, and the village teams were exposed to a totally different level of competition. But it was really tough competition actually, and I was surprised to see that the local teams actually dominated the competition. Now we had two villages in particular, Wairavanoa and Viriola, dominate from day one onwards. And those were the two teams that made it to the grand final.
Now I hear the home team as well did really well, but they just bowed out. They just bowed out. It was in a close match against the Viriola Sharks. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. They made it to the cup finals, I think it was, and they drew 13-all. Unfortunately, they were allowed extra time, and Viriola scored in that extra time, which ruled them out. But it was good to see the local. The home-based team actually step up, and they definitely have really improved. But let's take a look at some of the highlights.
welcome back again to the show.
Now, Lorraine, the Armaco Sevens for this year, it's one of the biggest tournaments in the cycle that rugby has in the country.
Yeah, I'd say it's second to Black Orchids. Probably this year it'll only ever be the Armaco Sevens and Black Orchid Sevens. So yeah, definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
Do you feel that, I know we mentioned it early in the program, but definitely rugby union is vastly improving.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, you look at local tournaments much like this one, and if you see the standard of rugby improving, but the only thing that they lack is a regular competition that gets the boys going. I mean, I spoke to one of the tournament directors there, and we discussed it. He asked me, he goes, you know, what do you think about this year's tournament? And I just told him straight, look, it's great. You know, they've definitely improved, but you know, it will work in both favors. If you had a regular competition going on, and you know, to some extent, then you can attract scouts coming in, because then they'll know, oh, these guys are serious about rugby. It's not just the once a year tournament or festival that they have.
But rugby, because rugby is actually really big in the Arama villages, it's actually not just a sport, but it's actually been doing a lot for the youths over in the villages. It's been keeping them busy instead of going around doing stupid things. They've actually been using rugby to build them as not just as players, but as people and good members of the communities. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, definitely. And going back to you saying rugby is big in the Arama Coast, you look at the Puk Sevens, for example. Billy Rapilla is from the Arama Coast, from Lalara. Douglas Geis is from the Arama Coast and Lalara as well. You know, we don't have rugby league reps from the Arama Coast. Not a lot, not that many. So it definitely is big, and it's definitely growing, and it's good to see people like Billy and Dougie actually, you know, be so high up there within the rugby fraternity, and you have a lot of the local village people actually look up to them, because they didn't just play and represent the national 7s and 15s team. They're now the coaches, so they're all up there. They've been through it all, and you know, they all started from the bottom, and then that's where they are now.
And just on that note, PNG Puk Sevens captain Hubert Cheraha had some very special words to say that you mentioned to me about earlier.
Yeah, Hubert Cheraha, man, this guy, you know, he has a fantastic story. I mean, he started off as a simple village kid, started playing rugby, and now he leads the national 7s team, and what he had to say to the village people was actually, you know, I felt quite emotional. He was talking about the Pacific Games. Before we actually throw to that, I just want to speak a little bit about it. You know, he thanked the people for taking the team in, for, you know, their hospitality and whatnot. But the one thing that really caught the villagers' attention was in his closing remarks, when he made mention that the team that was standing in front of all of them weren't, you know, it's not just the PNG Pukpuks. They are the boys that will represent all of them, you know, from the Central Province to the Highlands to the New Guinea Islands during the Pacific Games. And the village people were actually very proud to hear that. So, you know, they've definitely got a big following in the Arama Coast come July.
Last month, 2 months ago. So, kami basta kami club prepare to us no the Pacific Games same club I play fun from crowded, so club I play best from klaro presenting you kata the team you know team from kata so the team you kata so club I play best from klaro team yang pasal na thank you kata people laro asem hospital dilo boys.
Awesome stuff there from Captain Hubert Cheraha. We wish them all the best for the 2015 Pacific Games here in Port Moresby. Do get out there and support the PNG Sevens. So yeah, now with Rugby Sevens being huge, the pledging that Sir Pukatemu gave for the upgrading of the field, you can only imagine how much the boys will advance playing over there in a rural area itself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he said we could expect to see the upgrade happen in the next 6 months. Obviously, the next Armaco Sevens will be held in 2016, hopefully around the same time as this year, if not possibly earlier. But then going back to what the chairman of the Warramana, president of the Warramana Rugby Union Club had to say, he was talking about the development of sevens within Lalara village alone, and obviously, of course, the Armour Coast. They do have big plans for the AC Sevens next year, but maybe we'll take a look at what he had to say and let him speak for himself.
I've been watching the tournament for the 5 years, and we've improved in the standard is improving, and we see there's a lot of changes in the game. And also, we've seen after the announcement of outside teams participating in the tournament, we've seen this increase of the crowd, and also we have a lot of changes in terms of the standard of changes in the tournament. Villages along the Irma Coast have learned that the boys from outside were coming. We were a bit nervous to have them play in the competition, because we participate, the teams participated in the previous tournament where only locals of the villages along the Irma Coast. After when we had the boys, the teams coming from outside, we were nervous, but when we attended when the boys played with the outsiders, they learned a lot of new things in terms of it boosted the standard of the game, and brought a lot of knowledge to the game also. Towards after the 5 years of competition, the tournament, we've seen improvements, and with the participation of the national teams and the teams from outside, I'm pretty sure that the boys will improve in the standards, and being playing with together, it brings a lot of, it will motivate them to play more like them, and it'll bring development to the community, the code itself in the village, in the community, local levels.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I'd like to, lastly, I'd like to say, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everyone for participating in the tournament, and we hope to see a brighter and a better tournament in the 2016 AC tournament.
Huge congratulations to the Warravanua Baikia for taking out the title as the Armour Sevens champions for 2015.
Definitely a well-deserved win. Congratulations again, boys.
And to everyone else who went out there, the Virula Sharks for coming second, and other teams who participated.
And successful tournament? Very successful, and we can definitely expect to see bigger things happening in the Armour Coast next year.
Awesome. Now, after the break, we'll take a trip up to Wewak for the Sipic Ironman, which Scholar Sengi covered. So do not go anywhere. And welcome back to the show. Now, I did mention that it was a huge weekend with the Hunters match, the AC Sevens, and also was the Sipic Ironman. That was massive, and Scholar Sengi was over there to catch all the action.
Thanks, guys. We are here at the St. Mary's Crossing, the start and the finish line of the Sipic Ironman. Behind me, the marshals are getting the participants ready to kickstart the event. But first of all, let's take a look at what the residents of Wewak had to say about the Sipic Ironman.
Sipic Ironman, me aski ma pisla Ironman competition or whenever must come up, make sure must come up good. Na me like the trouble come up with this, so you must enjoy ma this la Ironman competition lo it's ever come up one day I'm finish so apart lo this la me like the trouble or whenever maybe make it this event must come up good lah.
So I'm come the month of June now, maybe so Sp man. So by looking at them, yeah, over a youth flow, we are all ready now. Start run go come exercise na prepare lo. This event lo come up every year.
I'm sports blow, me blow Mangelo work it. My Sp man. I mean, you said you marry, you said you man. Supposed you play civic, I'm sports play you. Also now me blow got I'm 10 player now. Me blow running my Sp man companies. Usat istabare mo istabuluk. I think me blow got some blow good blow athletes so all usat online only can represent me blow civic civic. Lo represent my Papa Uni lo participate lo this last games too. So we'll play civic me blow too because he can play civic or not play civic, but me blow almost some this event pakam.
Yes, me blow cycle blood clan. Me blow me treva. Me blow cycle blood event because I'm sakam once ya. So in true I mean blow civic.
Clocking in 1 hour and 12 seconds at the finish line, Morap Wamajina are the reigning title holders in the 2015 Sp Ironman. Villageans Xavier Kavan set the pace in the first 100 meters of the 4-kilometer start run, before being overtaken by same speed's Douglas Saboro in the first bend of the course. Morap's Jonah Warandua took the lead heading into Wewak town, setting Joey Tony for a 50-meter head start in the 800-meter swimming leg. Lawrence Jacro then set a margin on the 12-kilometer cycling leg. The course testing both mind and body before setting Elijah Kalana on the 5-kilometer finishing run. Triathlon Yangwon registering second place and Moria Bia clocking in 1 hour and 39 minutes to secure third place in the open division.
There's not much happenings that like other years where we face a lot of congestion along the road and all this. Crowd control is good and all this. Yeah.
Since its inception in 2004, the sport has grown inside the province. Is there more like teams going to come in next year? Are you expecting more teams to register for next year's tournament?
Yes, I think most teams outside are trying to come in, but I think one factor that affect them and now all not come inside, I think it's the South Pacific Games that most people are going towards that. But I think next year definitely, yes, a lot of teams will be coming in. This year we've seen a large number of kids joining in. As you can see, like the outcome, the result now, you see a lot of triathlon kids has come up. Yes, more and more interest, mainly with girls. You know, first we don't have a lot of girls trying to take part in this type of sport. I think it's funny and like this, but now you can see a lot of girls joining up.
Sp Ironman engages and promotes local businesses, students from secondary schools and volunteers within Wewak to assist in officiating the event, and continues its mission to support education and health services in Wewak.
For this year's tournament, we've raised about 80,000+. Yeah.
Throughout the Sp Ironman tournament, I understand that you guys have different mission to assist the community for health and education. Would you be able to give us a little insight in the number of organizations within Wewak that you've assisted?
Okay, we've assisted the hospital, the Kalang services, I think, and different schools around East Sepik province. Not East Sepik, but around just Wewak town only, yeah.
Since its inception in 2004, Garamut, Tengmau and South Sea Tuna continue to support the tournament, with New Guinea table birds jumping on board this year.
As a first-time sponsor, we're actually quite pleased with what's happening. It's good to see the tournament advisors getting all the youngsters and everyone involved. And the outcome, the crowd, everyone's been, they've been behaving well. So very good sportsmanship on display. We've seen that, so yeah, we're very pleased to support and be a first-time sponsor.
Are you going to come back next year?
Yes, hopefully we should. After seeing what's happened, then we should be a sponsor again next year.
Joining the campaign in sports development, 4 women's team took on the challenge of the 22-kilometer course. PNG Ports Team 1 raked up second spot, while Lucky Charms took out the top honours. In the junior division, MBJ, Triathlon Green Hill Investment and Yoshi's Clothing were awarded the first, second and third place amongst 10 teams. Presentations have ended and celebrations will continue throughout the day. We had a very big outcome of participants today. 31 teams took part. Good turnout of junior participants. Big thank you to Wewak Town and the community here for the hospitality. And that's how we wrap up the 2015 Sipik Ironman here in Wewak. And it's back to you guys in the studio.
Trip out.
Yes, congratulations.
Well done,
And
Scholar.
it was back home to Wewak, so good on you.
I'm sure you enjoyed that. Now, just quickly before we go, the State of Origin Game 3 will happen this weekend. Now, that should be absolutely...
Game 2, bro.
Yes.
Game number 2.
Did I say this weekend? On Wednesday, I mean, sorry.
On Wednesday.
So it should be absolutely huge.
Can't wait for all my Blues supporters to come out.
Come on, Blues.
With a bang.
Now this, the Game 2 is going to be held at the MCG, so come on, the Blues. I'm a Blues supporter.
Victorians have actually been urged to go behind the Maroons.
Yeah, because a lot of the Melbourne Storms, the Melbourne Storms,
Queensland-based players.
Queensland-based players, so I'm pretty sure. But, you know, the State of Origin is going to pull in the New South Wales supporters from all around the country, so that should be massive.
Who are you going for?
I'm a Blues supporter, so I'm going to stick to the Blues.
We're all Blues
We're
anyway,
all Blues,
but keep a
actually.
lookout for Dion on the streets tomorrow. He'll be engaging public feedback on who you think will win State of Origin game number 2 and potentially State of Origin for 2015.
So if you're out there and you're friends with any of us on Facebook, let us know where you'll be tomorrow and maybe we can catch up with you and see who you think is going to win Game 2 of the State of Origin. Now, thank you very much, Jeremy, for your time.
Thank you, Dion.
And Lorraine, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Miss Purple. That's all we have for you on tonight's show. Now, Road to Port Moresby will be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So make sure you do catch that, Road to Port Moresby 2015.
Yeah, definitely do catch that. You know, we'll be 17 days away from the Pacific Games, so we do have important announcements coming from the Games Organizing Committee Chief Executive Officer Peter Stewart. You wouldn't want to miss any of that.
It's exciting, guys. If you haven't got your tickets yet, make sure you do. Get behind Team PNG in all 28 sports. Now, Skola Senge also will have a show on Hotspot on Thursday nights, so make sure you do catch that. And that's a wrap from us here on Sports Scene. Thank you for your company. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.